Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching SOULCASTER. I'm Michael 7 Michael. And you're watching SOULCASTER. SOULCASTER, everything about spirituality, spiritual tools. Specifically today we're going to talk about rose quartz. That's right, you crystal lovers, we're going to talk about rose quartz. And we have our wonderful Megan. And she's going to help us jump into rose quartz. So what do you know about rose quartz?
Rose quartz is one of my favorite stones. It is, interestingly enough, for the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. So it's all about self-love, attracting love. There's an ancient, I think, Roman story about how rose quartz was a stone that blood was shed upon in a tragic, love event.
Of course, because you couldn't have an ancient story without tragic love.
Obviously. Yeah. So they say the stone was stained by the love of these two lovers, and that's why it's so potent, old school. But...
put your hair on the mic, yep. Or turn it a little bit. Okay, I think it's rubbing on the sweater.
Oh.
Yep.
How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, by the way, this is from Crystal's Gardens. So if you want to go to Crystal's Garden, there's the address. You can pick up a rose quartz. So shout out to those folks. Thank you very much for sponsoring. And for our other sponsor on Soundshark, this wonderful microphone that I'm talking to that looks really space age.
Fancy. It's very fancy.
It's really fancy.
Yeah.
So rose quartz, that's an interesting story. But it just feels good.
It's such a great stone.
It feels good.
It feels good, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's very much like that you have to love yourself before you can really attract real love, externally. So it's such an empowering stone for the heart chakra, for your own self-worth. I like to actually put it, and I think I told you this before, I have a beautiful mug. It's my favorite mug. And I fill it with water, and I have a beautiful rose quartz that I put in the actual mug, and I keep it in the fridge. Mm-hmm. And every morning the first thing I do is I drink that water that's been charged with the rose quartz. Mm-hmm. Just like my own little self-love ritual. And then I refill it, put it back in the fridge.
And they're selling containers.
Yeah.
That have specific. Oh, by the way, don't put any crystal or mineral.
Not all of them are safe to do that.
Yeah.
Some of them will break down.
And poison us.
And poison the water. Yeah.
So I just say that disclaimer because not enough people are saying that, and I don't want people to get hurt.
It's so true. Yeah, thank you for saying that. There's a few stones that are safe to do that with. Mm-hmm. Rose quartz is one of them. Clear quartz is another one. But most stones are not safe to do that with. So definitely be careful.
Definitely.
And research it before you do it. You can put it next to your drink, or next to your bathtub, or next to your food.
Right.
But
not necessarily in it.
Not all of them. Yeah.
Not all of them.
But yeah, rose quartz, it's such a beautiful, empowering, it just kind of reminds you of oh yeah, I am worthy, I am beautiful, it helps you really love yourself. And when that light is lit within you, that shines and attracts other people. Yeah. It's a beautiful stone to work with.
And again, these are amplifiers. Mm-hmm. I want people to realize, oh, you're into crystals, da 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 da. I didn't feel anything. Well, I mean, like in any other relationship, whether it's food, whether it's dealing with people, it's the energy you put into it. Like if you're upset and you're cooking and you're eating, or you're making tea and you're not really going to get the positive energy from that. So
I like to think of it as how do relationships work anyway? These are energetic, they're little microphones, if you will. They put off different energies. And if I'm going to come at you and I'm going to be screw you and your red hat, you're going to be excuse me? It's going to be a negative interaction.
Right.
Whereas if I come up to you and I'm wow, I really like your hat. Your energy towards me is going to change.
Totally different.
Same thing with food, same thing with herbs, same thing with stones. If you approach it in a negative way, it's not going to want to help you.
And they come in different sizes.
I've
seen rose quartz 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing. So here's an interesting piece. Now my cat broke. It was a bigger piece. My cat broke it. And what I ended up doing is making stuff like this. So
I love it. This is beautiful. I can model it for you if you want.
yeah. So there you go. You know, so you could do so many wonderful things. With rose quartz, I kind of say it's like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
It has a really nice warming feeling with that crystal.
I think so.
And it helps bring that out. So yeah, so if you're nervous, you're stressed out, if you're homesick, I would say rose quartz is a very,
I totally
very good
agree.
thing. And that's self-love. So let's say you just went through a breakup, or having some sort of issues with your relationship, with rose quartz would be
Totally.
a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people say, "Oh, I want love, so I'm going to get a rose quartz." Wrong mentality. Go into it.
Yeah.
It's
Dig into it.
I'm my most wonderful self, so
Yeah.
I'm going to attract someone that will complement that energy.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the best way to check that out. So
It's recognizing your self-worth and what you're worthy of and that
Yeah.
you deserve so much more. Yeah.
cool. Well, that's rose quartz. This is rose quartz. If you want a rose quartz, it's a good for you. You're watching SOULCASTER. I'm Michael 7 Michael. Thank you so much, Megan. And talking about rose quartz. So pick one up. Let us know what you think about it. Leave us comments. You're watching SOULCASTER.